You know what it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Ode, Maurice, Ode, Maurice.
Maurice, Ode, Maurice, Ode.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy. It's the Black and Snurdy podcast with Ode and Maurice.
Hello.
Hello there, and welcome to the Black and Snurdy Podcast Wednesday edition.
Watch out now.
Where we review well, first off, I'm Maurice.
I'm Odie.
And together we are just a couple of nerds here reviewing a piece of media. And today is a bit of a throwback. Because instead of something new that just released, we went back in time and we reviewed something that is, I don't know how fundamental or criterion this was to your childhood.
I would say this was my first.
Watch out now.
I feel like this is my first superhero movie.
Really?
Well, okay, it depends on the timeline. When did Batman come out?
Which Batman?
The one that came out
With Michael Keaton?
when we were kids, yeah.
But there was like a bunch of them that came out.
But when we were kids, what was the earliest one that came out?
The earliest probably was the first Batman with Michael Keaton that came out in.
There was one in
maybe 91.
Okay, so this was my first black superhero movie.
Yes. Okay.
Because Blade came out in like 99?
I believe so. Yes.
And this came out in 97. So
Yes.
this was, I remember, we didn't see this in theaters, but I remember my cousin Chris and Sade and I watching this.
Well, actually, wouldn't this be your second? Because Meteor Man. Did you see Meteor Man?
I did see
And that
Meteor
came
Man.
out
That
in
came
93.
earlier. Okay,
That
so
came out in
this would be the
93.
second, but this was the first like dark one. Because Meteor Man wasn't like super dark.
Yes. Okay.
It was more like campy.
Yeah, that one was pretty campy.
This one, I just remember, I remember watching it, and this is my second time watching it in life. I remember being like, this is so fucking weird. This John Leguizamo looks weird. Michael J. White looks weird. And rewatching it is even darker than I remember. But it had a star-studded cast. There was Michael J. White is Spawn. John Leguizamo is Victor. Vector. Is it Victor?
The Violator.
The Violator, which,
Yes.
I mean, terrible name.
Yeah.
Because he's...
Well, I mean, it's meant to be dark.
It is. And
This is
then,
meant to be- which I will say, when I found out that this movie was rated PG-13,
it should not have been.
It shouldn't have been. It should have been a hard R.
Yeah. First of all, they were using the hard R. Well, the other hard R.
Yeah,
they were using so many. It was a very 90s movie because it was
so 90s.
So problematic in various ways.
The dog's name, I don't want to say. Well, I could say it because the dog's is.
That was the dog's name.
The dog's name is Spaz.
Yeah.
The dog, like they gave that dog that name in the 90s,
which honestly is it's both.
It's pretty hilarious.
It's hilarious
all
at
things
how
considered.
it like people. I think that sometimes like people think about. I think our generation, like I guess we're mid millennials. I don't know because like we're millennials.
Oh, we're prime millennials.
We're prime ones. Okay, so I feel like people look at us sometimes and think that we have like super dark humor and we are able to like just
We're
shrug
cynics.
things off.
We're cynics.
And we don't get. We'll be up in arms about things that like make sense.
It's
like,
a paradox.
but
that we're
we
cynical,
also-
yet we're very touchy. When it
yes.
comes to
Well, I
stuff
think
like
that we are. I think that we are like the bridge. Someone called on Twitter a while back called us the bridge generation, and I think it's that we've seen both the like Gen X and above, and how they're like all the stuff that they had as like music, TV, and film.
Yes.
And then we see the Gen Z and like the Alpha generation and all the stuff that they have. And I think that we're able to find a good balance between the two because we are not extra sensitive. We're not overtly sensitive in some ways where I think the younger generation can be overly sensitive in a way that feels like it doesn't make sense for like life. But then we're not just like, fuck that, we're gonna do whatever we want the way that the older generation is, because they're like, in my day we did all these things. Like, we were able to watch something and have, I think, the critical thinking that is needed. And so sometimes, like, if you grew up watching Spawn, you could be like, yeah, this was problematic, and also be able to find if there were, good parts. But I think overall, like, would you consider Spawn, because I never read any of the comic books.
Okay.
I know you said it's from, was it Image? Image Comics?
Yes.
Would you consider him a hero, or is he an anti-hero?
He's an anti-hero. He's definitely an anti-hero.
Because he's not technically a good guy. Yeah. And even before he died,
he was like
he was a soldier
assassin,
but he was an assassin, which, I mean, in a way, like, most, I think, soldiers are assassins, whether they realize it or not. Hi, Miss Viola. Most soldiers are assassins, so they might think they're the good guys, but in reality, they're causing havoc and destabilizing regions.
Yes,
but
running amok.
But I feel like that I liked how they introduced us to the character. It was very 90s. The whole movie.
This whole movie was just so straight out of the 90s.
The intro, the narrator's voice, the weird. I wrote down that it had terrible CGI,
yes,
and 90s electronic music.
It had PlayStation 1 graphics.
Yes. Oh, man.
If that. I would say maybe, 97? Yeah, probably PlayStation graphics, I would say.
It was just, all of the graphics were terrible, but they got the point across.
Yes.
But in the comic books, is Spawn black?
Yeah, it's the character of Al Simmons is an African-American man. Fine, he's black. Like,
he might be. What if he's from Jamaica? Then he wouldn't be American.
Jamaica, Queens, maybe. But
who knows?
Or Seattle, Jamaica, Seattle.
But
wherever this movie takes.
It looks like it was in Seattle, because remember at one point it pans over and I saw the little needle.
Yeah, the needle center.
So the needle,
the space needle.
Space needle. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it was there, but it was a very interesting kind of, like, I couldn't tell if the world is supposed to be dystopian fully, or if it's just supposed to be like a lot of crime. Because in some ways, the society was like crumbling, but then like his daughter has a birth, or his wife's daughter has a birthday, and it looks very normal and regular. So yeah, I don't know how far we're supposed to be going into dystopia.
I don't think it's. At least in this movie, I don't think they portrayed the movie as, like, crime-laden so much as, like, international
issues,
yeah.
Okay, so Michael J. White is Spawn.
Yes.
He becomes Spawn because he's an assassin. He's working for the corrupt government. No surprise. And what's the Wynn's name from Grace and Frankie?
Michael Sheen.
Martin Sheen
or Michael Sheen?
Ooh, I think
Martin Sheen. It's Martin Sheen.
Okay, so Martin Sheen is his boss. We know he's evil because he's working with Vector for. He's working with the Violator from the very beginning.
Yes.
And after Michael J. White's character complains about a mission that went terribly, he's like, "This is my last mission. I'm done."
Yes.
And so he goes to the mission. But okay, this is my thing. They say that he's going to Hong Kong to get rid of this like chemical warfare, and he needs to go that day. And he's like, "No, I'm done." And he's
16.
And he's like, you gotta go because what about Wanda, your wife? And so it's like implying he's gonna do something. He's like, fine, the last mission.
And mind you, the entire time, throughout the entirety of the movie, they are doing these flashbacks.
The flashbacks looked like an R&B, 90s R&B video because it had all these different montages.
Yes, it's like various
with
scenes of
terrible
Wanda
voiceover.
Saying
I love you.
I love you.
I'm yours forever.
We will be together when I see you.
It was bad. But so he thinks about his wife. He's like, I'm going to do it. Now, I have a very big problem with this.
What's the problem?
There is no way you're getting, in the 90s, from Seattle or New York, wherever they were. You're not going from the United States to Hong Kong in that same day. Like, it took me 13 hours to get to Korea.
It seemed like it was nighttime by the time.
It was night, but I feel like he was at what time did he get to their office? How did they make sure? I just felt like that was. I didn't believe it.
Strained credulity.
I didn't believe it because now that I've traveled to Asia and I know how long those flights are, and in the 90s they didn't have flights as fast and as maybe they had a private jet. Who knows? But I don't know. I couldn't. I was confused.
Military stealth.
Yeah, stealth planes. So, okay, he's at the thing. He's doing the mission. But when he gets there, he sees all these bombs all over the, factory. And he's like, what's going on? This is terrible. And then we see Wind coming down in this, fucking spacesuit. He's like...
You gotta talk about the outfits in this thing.
The outfits...
Leather on leather.
Because you know what? I feel like 97, we were still coming out of the late 80s, early 90s, steampunk, futuristic punk style of dressing. That was still popular. It was just more elevated and different. So it was very much like another movie that I feel like we should watch next week.
Yeah.
Strange Days. If y'all have not seen Strange Days, Angela Bassett is one of the leads in there.
Is she a cop in that?
I don't remember.
Okay, because
I honestly don't remember.
There's a movie where Angela Bassett plays a cop.
She's on 911 on Fox, but now ABC.
All right, maybe not. Wait, 911's on ABC now?
Yeah, they canceled it on Fox. Now they're moving to ABC.
Oh, okay. Well.
But I don't know. I can't remember her job.
They are moving to ABC, I guess.
I guess maybe wants to be a part of the Grey's Anatomy family. I don't know.
You would like.
Gabby really likes it. We've talked about it. I have not because I feel like I've gotten to my max of police procedurals. Specifically,
have you?
Well, because these are the ones I like.
Okay.
Criminal Minds. Okay. Law and Order. Blacklist.
Okay.
Now, sometimes...
And you've reached the end of Blacklist.
Well, it's a new season's coming out.
Good.
So. Season 10's out. I'm waiting for it to get up on...
Season, though, right?
Yeah. This is the last one. Then it's over. Then we can say goodbye to Ray.
Because you can only have so many episodes where it's just what's Remington's secret? Or whatever his fucking name. Remington.
Yeah, no. Raymond Remington.
I've listened to enough of the episodes to sort of gauge what type of show this is.
But I didn't want to add any. 911 didn't pull me in from anything. Only reason I want to watch it is for Angela Bassett. But she was in Strange Days. It was very good, and it's another 90s futuristic weird stuff is going on. So we should watch that. Strange Days. I want to watch it in juxtaposition to this one.
I'll look up where that is on streaming.
I think it's on Netflix because I added it to the list.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Because I knew or HBO. Because I knew I wanted to watch it.
Because this algorithm has been fucked. Just straight up fucked. And I'm not happy about it. Just every profile, every streaming service needs a new profile. Is essentially what I'm realizing. It's Netflix. You have me and guest. Hulu, me and guest. HBO Max, me and guest, and so on and so forth.
But I want a new one. I don't want to be on guest because then people are gonna be fucking up my algorithm.
Well, who else is gonna be guest? Who am I sharing my streaming service with other than my mom and Disney Plus? Which, by the way, Mom, Still waiting on that BET Plus password. You texted me today to see how I'm doing, and I'm doing well. Thank you for doing that. But where's the BET Plus? I want to watch that prostitute show that you were telling me about.
What?
There's a prostitute show. Apparently, there's like.
I thought she was telling you about Sisters. I feel like she was talking about Sisters. I don't know about prostitute, but
Sisters?
Perhaps.
It's called Sisters?
I feel like she was saying when we were all there, like, oh, I love Sisters.
Was she saying that they are sisters?
There's a show on BET called Sisters, and it's a Tyler Perry show. So, I mean, if it's Tyler Perry, who knows? Someone could be a prostitute. You never know. But, okay, back to Spawn.
Sorry, sex worker, by the way. My apologies. I caught myself eventually.
Prostitute no longer a term?
I don't think it is. I think now it's
not.
It's
So
sex
no,
work.
say no to prostitute, yes to sex work.
Yes.
Now, okay, anyway. The costumes were very leathery, very silvery, and monochromatic.
Yes.
He comes back down.
All black, everything.
Well, he was
J.D.
in a
would
very
love
squeaky, like silverish, dark gray silver suit. And he's
You mean
like,
as his Spawn suit, or?
I'm talking about Martin Sheen.
Oh, Martin Sheen, yeah.
He comes out. He the Michael J. White's character confronts him, and he's like, "You're not gonna get away with this. I know you've been planning this all along." And he's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!" And like the stupid, weird, mean bitch. Well, sorry, mean, rude lady is up top and like shooting him.
But for the record, she is very bitchy.
She's a mean bitch, and she has red hair to signify it, because that's how they always signified the bad girls in the movies. It's giving red hair.
The tightest leather pants.
Tightest pants.
Absolutely
No ass. Not at all.
Nass at all.
And she...
Did I tell you that I once pitched this idea that NASA should make a ibuprofen called Nasitol?
Why would NASA do that?
They make space food.
Yeah, so space medicine. Nasitol. Nasitol for everybody.
Nasitol for you, Nasitol for her, Nasitol for him, Nasitol for everybody if you are just super surrounded by annoying people.
So no Nasitol for you.
Hungry now. Now I'm hungry for space food. Well, I'm hungry for like actual meat, but I'm hungry for
meats. Arby's.
Dun 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 dun.
We've got the meats. Anyway, okay.
Have you ever eaten at Arby's?
I have. When I was at Howard, I worked at PD Plaza. Mm-hmm. There was a Arby's in the food court. Now I never ate the sandwiches, but I used to go there for the mozzarella sticks.
Yeah. See, I've never eaten at Arby's before.
I have had a sandwich from them because Gabby loves Arby's. I think she's the person keeping them afloat.
She has to be.
She loves them, and we've driven them when we've driven around doing stuff.
What up, Laurel?
But okay, now I'm hungry. You're confusing me with Arby's, and I'm thinking about the meats.
By the way, and just to pull back the curtain just a little bit, I'm helping you out for this. As far as stretching out what we're gonna talk about.
What we're stretch.
Yeah, we do actually. We have to talk. We have to stretch out the parts that we're talking about, and as far as this movie is concerned.
No, we don't.
Yes, we absolutely do.
We do not, because I know everything that happened in this movie.
You know everything that happens in this movie.
I knew.
Sure.
I know what happened.
Sure.
Okay.
At no point did she look up and say, "Who is that?" And I had to explain that was the clown. Even though there's a clear transformation scene.
I'm going to be honest with y'all.
Yes.
It has been a very long day, okay? I am a busy working woman. Okay? I've been up since the wee hours of the morning. And I was watching this movie. I made the mistake of laying down. And I was
Nobody told you to do
comfortable.
that.
I wanted to be comfortable to watch the movie. At first, it was fine, and then I don't know.
No, your head hit the pillow, and you were in dreamland immediately.
No, because I remember a good portion of the movie.
No, like I can tell you what.
I think it falls off for me. Damn, what was the last thing I remember?
I literally asked you, how did he get away? And you were like, he disappeared. I'm like, no, he flew.
He disappeared. He flew away and disappeared.
Saw that one point.
He was standing on the wall, then he was gone.
Yes, you saw that one point, and then I woke you up to.
All I'm gonna
see
say
that
is,
one point.
I got a bunch of the movie. I watched it.
Didn't even see the same. You didn't even see the end of the scene.
I watched this movie. Okay. And I'm capable of reviewing it.
And mind you, this is your second time seeing this movie. You haven't seen it since 1997. So your recollection must be incredible. In order.
Let's see. Let me look at my notes. That'll let me know how.
Let's see how much of your notes aren't, just from the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
What is the last note you have?
All right, okay.
Yeah, what is that? First off, what does that say? Let alone...
It's something...
You keep saying...
Is it Mr... Was there somebody named Mr. Slater?
No,
Violator. Never mind, Violator. So before that, you called him Luis Guzman, which confused the fuck out of me. And I was like, what's going on? Okay.
These LJJLs... and LGs.
The last
GLs.
thing was a black man who regenerates when shot. So at one point,
that's about the first 30 minutes.
No, I definitely got an hour in. I feel like I was like at least 45 minutes. There was like 45 minutes where I was watching it.
Definitely the first. Fine, I'll give you the first 45 minutes. Because he goes
through the glass.
Okay.
After he's become... We're spoiling too early.
First off,
spoilers.
Warning for this movie that came out in 1997.
30 years ago. Spoilers.
Yes.
After he goes to Hong Kong.
This movie is available on HBO Max if you want to watch this movie and then come back and listen to this podcast.
He goes to Hong Kong. He goes
to North Korea.
I don't know why this whole time I thought they said Hong Kong.
No, it even had the Korean written on which I thought was very funny. Like
Look
on
at that.
This secret nuclear testing base, there's just one big sign.
It says Korea
in Korean. That's just like
nuclear weapons.
Nuclear weapons.
We're testing nuclear weapons here.
Secret sign.
Do not come into our secret place. Okay, so he goes to North Korea, gets to the factory, Weinman comes, shoots him up, and then they didn't even have, honestly, first of all, did he have a bulletproof vest on?
I think he had a bulletproof vest, but he got shot in like the arm.
Yeah, like I feel like he got shot, but I feel like he had a bulletproof vest because he didn't just die.
The guns in this movie are ridiculous. They're ridiculous. Like they're like
BB guns.
We in the world, not BB guns, but like they're oversized, overtly huge, big ass guns. They're ridiculously big guns. Like, it's ridiculous how big these guns are.
We once were a country.
Yeah. And it's almost as if it's foreshadowing.
You know the NRA is
the
like...
real world. Yeah, it's the NRA's wet dream. It's the NRA's wet dream.
Meanwhile, there was an active shooter in Atlanta today. And, I mean... This is America.
Damn, what does he say? Don't catch you slipping, though.
It's just what happens. And
this is America. A side note, I remember at the company that I no longer work for, that I will no longer associate myself with, despite the fact that I have a closet full of their fucking gear.
You don't gotta tell anybody where you got them.
And you're absolutely right, I don't have to. I was at the whitest rooftop party in the world.
I will say I'm gonna miss the parties.
I will
for
miss
the free
the parties.
food and alcohol.
Free food, free alcohol. I miss them.
I used to steal a bottle.
Side note, I still have a key. Could some of their vodka go missing? Anywho, be a long way to go for some vodka.
Capering through the office while the fucking cameras are beaming down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that lady won't know. Just give her some Snickers.
Yeah, I'll just be like,
She don't talk to nobody else there. She thinks she talks to white person.
Yeah, I'm here for the party. I'm here to hang out. Anyhow, the whitest party you could possibly imagine.
Mm-hmm.
The song that they're playing is "This Is America," but like the club mix.
Oh, why do white people do that?
It's just like
They would make a club mix.
This is America.
White people would make a club mix to wade in the water. I swear they would.
Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Children. Wade in the water.
God's gonna trouble the water. That's I can I can see it.
I can absolutely see
I can see it because you know why? They don't know how to. What was it that you said that they don't like? We move on like the one and the two, and they move.
No. We dance to the beat, and white people dance to the lyrics.
Yes, so they need to have that electronic because then they can.
That's the only way that they can dance to the beat is if it's
because then it's just like this.
And even then, yeah, exactly. It has to be fast.
This is the most nerd-divergent podcast. We have not even gotten to
whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? I'm helping you right now. We're 30 minutes into this movie, and
I haven't even gotten to him becoming spawn yet.
I know you haven't because that's the last thing you remember.
No, it's not. Give me more credit than that.
Can I? Is it possible for me to do that?
I was tired, okay? I thought it was a good movie. I'm just
and mind
really
you, I
sleepy.
did my due diligence and tried to wake you up.
I woke up.
I woke you up several times, and then after a while, I just gave the fuck up. I was just like, all right, well, I guess this is what it is.
I was trying.
I guess and mind you, you're the one who suggested let's watch this movie. You said, what? I was like, what can we watch? And you were like, oh, why don't we watch Spawn?
Do you want me to know something?
What?
I also fell asleep on this movie the first time I watched it. Oh! Yeah, I did.
So just imagine little Odie in 1997 in the movie theater.
It wasn't in the theater. We were at home.
Oh.
It was on HBO.
Oh, you didn't? I saw this in the movie theater.
No, we didn't. My mom was making this.
Golden Ring Mall movie
Is it still
theater
open?
with my dad and my sister. What?
Is Golden Ring Mall still open?
I don't think Golden Ring Mall is still.
Was it by
open.
like what? Was it Arundel Mills? Is that too far? from
No,
you?
that's too far. That's too far. Golden Ring was in Baltimore proper.
I was tired, and I think it was such a weird movie that I was getting confused, and I checked out, and I was just like, probably running around on a Saturday. Wasn't what I wanted to watch anyway, but we only had no choices because we didn't have real cable.
The only levity I'm going to give you is that I know that you are working hard, and that I know that you do some tiresome work. So therefore, I'm giving you a little bit of
My
grace.
brain is exhausted.
I'm giving you a little bit of grace in that you were tired. I who do not have a job yet, I'm saying yet.
Not yet.
Just had a pretty good interview.
You did. Ain't you?
You know.
Somebody, when I was walking home today, this woman and her baby were walking by, and she saw my sweater, and she was like, "Ain't you?" She graduated in 2016.
Ooh.
So shout out to you, Howard Bison.
Shout out to you, Gabian.
That is not his name.
Gerbian?
It was a G-E-R, like Gerber.
I'm gonna have to do better at remembering that.
Yeah.
Ask
him if he has
I told him that I had a podcast. Did not name the podcast.
He'll be able to find it. With you gave him a lot of identifying factors.
I did. I said I have a podcast, and my name is Maurice Licorice. Kid Licorice!
Get that tattooed on you.
Oh my goodness. What'd you say?
We're gonna get that tattooed on you.
Kid Licorice?
Yeah.
That actually wouldn't be a bad tattoo to have. Where do you think I should get it? On this arm?
Maybe.
Kid Licorice?
Yeah, but in a cool font.
Yeah, what's the font? That'll be the next tattoo that I get. Kid Licorice, yeah.
I want to get a tattoo for my birthday.
You've been talking about getting this tattoo forever.
Well, I wanted to get the tattoo in fucking
is it
Thailand,
still like the
but fuck
fucking
you
tree?
to the lady.
Still the tree? Or a leaf or whatever it is. What is it? It's supposed to be a tree or a leaf. Something.
First of all, the Sankyant is a traditional Buddhist tattoo, and it's not a tree.
All right, what is it?
It was gonna be Buddhist symbols in like a little design, but
Designed like a tree?
No, not all of them are trees. No, it wasn't a tree. It was more like a little pyramid thing. But no, I wanted to get it from a Tibetan monk, or not Tibetan, a Buddhist monk. So I can't just go to anybody. Anyway.
Hello there.
Hello, Mrs. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy.
So back to Spawn.
Yeah, back to Spawn. Back to this movie we've covered 10 minutes of.
Michael J. White
watch out now.
Is in the North Korean factory.
Yes.
He gets shut up. But then these assholes have the audacity. You shoot me, but you don't kill me. Just so you can come over me and talk about what you're going to do in Suki. Like, why would you do that? Just kill me. Why do you have to then spray me with weird green goo?
Well, they had to make sure he was dead.
But, shoot him in the head.
I mean, no.
That's how you. That's the kill shot.
No,
that is universally the kill shot.
Wanted him to suffer.
That's
fucked.
I feel like it was very racist. I feel like it was a very racist space.
They wanted his ass to burn to death.
Because that's what you would do.
They incapacitated him. So that
sprayed him with weird goo.
Yeah, set his ass on fire and then exploded him. So that he just explodes.
I would hope in that situation.
Who is this guy?
That.
Sorry, I'm paying attention.
I would hope in this situation that the angels lift me up before things get.
No, you have to experience heavenly pain.
No.
Before you can cross.
I hope that I pass out. I would pass out and I wouldn't be able to experience any of that because that is a terrible way to die. That is literally a terrible way.
Imagine a pinch, but all over your body. That's what I imagine.
Consistently.
All of your neurons are fucking
just firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Because I've had small burns before.
I've had burns before.
Those shits suck.
We've all touched the stove.
Yes. One time I burned right here. I think it's either this one on
I see it
curling iron. Oh no, that's my birthmark.
Oh, okay.
But no, it was right here on my elbow because my auntie Debbie was doing her curls, she was getting ready to slay. I was 7 years old and she said, "Odie, stay away from the curling iron." I was a very rambunctious child.
Yeah, and you heard "stay away from the curling iron,"
and I didn't even pay attention.
Translated into
play near it.
Play with the curling iron.
And literally, it was there, and I don't know what I was doing, but I went like this, and and this whole thing here was burnt to the white meat.
Can I tell you that I got burned once? And it festered into a boil.
Yes, I've had that.
Or
that's how I got
boils are the ones with the pus inside, right?
Well, it could be liquid. It doesn't have to necessarily be pus.
Okay,
pus means it's infected.
It's liquid. It was liquid, and I popped it and drained it.
That's how I got the scar on my leg.
Squirted it out, and then it was just wrinkly. It was just wrinkly.
Yeah, it looks like a little wrinkly skin. When my Dell computer burned my leg in college.
Well,
It burned me.
we all had Dell computers.
Yeah, but it's a fucking Dell. That was a time. Remember that time
Because
during
Our
when
parents were like,
I'm
"Let's
not giving
get
you
I'm
the
not
cheapest?
Getting you, I'm not. Yeah, I'm
getting you
getting
the
you
cheapest computer
possibly
possible.
the cheapest thing.
But
Like,
the Dell was like, I mean, they're so surprised they're still in operation, because I remember that when we were in college, they had a whole thing because people's laptops were blowing up on them. Mine didn't blow up on me, but it extremely overheated. It overheated my thigh, and I woke up. It was feeling kind of like, it was kind of hurting me because I had fallen asleep watching a documentary on Russian orphans, and I fell asleep.
why do you know the exact?
Because I remember what I was watching.
Why are you watching Russian orphans?
It was about these Russian boys who were orphans living on the street and their hardships. It was very interesting. I don't remember the name of it, but I fell asleep watching it. So I woke up. My leg hurt a little bit. I put some ice on it, and then the next morning when I woke up, it was a big little boil, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I poked a hole. I sterilized a needle.
Oh, I didn't
Poke-
sterilize it.
I know you didn't. I sterilized it. I poked it, and then I drained it out, and it was all wrinkly. But then I went to Howard Hospital because I showed my aunt, who's worked at Howard Hospital as a nurse, and she was like, "Can you please go to the doctor and give you something?" So they gave me maybe like a little salve, but there was really nothing that they could do. It was just burnt skin, and I have a scar forever on my thigh. But yes, he dies in the fire, or so he thinks. Spawn.
Yes.
He goes to hell.
The movie that we're
The movie we're talking about, he goes
36 minutes into the podcast.
goes to hell. You just get into
Talked
this.
about salves and Russian orphans.
The debate between generations. We've covered a full spectrum.
We've covered the full spectrum.
He goes to hell.
We've covered 10 minutes of this movie.
What was the name of the demon?
Malbosia.
Malbosia.
Yes.
They always give the demons the most ridiculous names.
Yeah, Malbosia. That sounds like a fucking demon name. For sure. Malbosia. Are you kidding me? If you said, like, essentially, yes. He is given a deal. You can go back to see your wife if you lead my army. And he agrees, I'll lead your army if I can see my wife.
These fucking demon army people, the CG. First of all, the demon looked like a dog.
The CGI of the demon army, they all, you know what it looked like?
Like stick fingers or something.
It looked like a cross between Mortal Kombat and the end credits scene from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. With all the cannons just like, yeah! Which, by the way, I'm super wondering if Marvel doesn't have any regrets.
You put your money on the wrong pony, sir.
Oh, wait. We're gonna have this one actor play all the various variants.
I know that the VFX people who worked on that movie, when they heard the news, were like, fuck. Because now they're going to have to go through and CGI on... Can you do a select all and copy and paste? You got to probably go in there and get some...
Nah, he's about to get Terrence Howard. He's about to get replaced like a mother... And
I hope it's John Boyega.
It sucks. John Boyega in the... Oh. No.
The reason why I wanted to be John
Damson,
Boyega, I think they probably will pick him, but the reason why I wanted to be... what's his name from Grand Crew?
If Damson... Yes, Aaron Jenkins.
Because I saw him in The Magicians, and he can play a darker character.
Yes. If he could just get... Damson Idris, if he can get swole. Because, like, he's
That's why they need John Boyega.
He's in good shape.
They need John Boyega. He's already swole. He's already bigger.
Is he?
He has a bigger body.
Is he swole?
He's not swole, but he's like fit, but he has a bigger body.
I've never seen. He's moved on. He's doing Attack
No,
the Block.
I want.
He won't even come back for Star Wars.
Because they fucked him over. This is the way they repay him.
Fuck him up.
This is how they repay John Boyega. Put him as king. He knows how to do very good accents. He can be from everywhere. Like, I vote. My vote is for him.
Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting to see how they finagle the next season of Loki. Because he's all in it.
Y'all better figure it out, because
he's all in it.
They said they're not
making
making
the end credits of Quantumania, and
they said they are not going to make any decisions until the court dates, which is like next week, because they're worried about being sued by him. Because if for some reason, precious Lord, we get video that completely destroys his this woman's allegations or the court's allegations against him, he does not want to. They don't want him to sue him, because he could, and so we'll just have to wait until May 9th, and then we'll see what happens. But yes,
so he's revived 5 years later.
Exactly, in a place called the Rat Tunnel or the Rat Hole.
No. I specifically wrote down it's Rat City. Rat City, bitch. Rat City. Rat City, bitch. Rat City. Rat City, bitch. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but I know it's Rat City, bitch.
Okay, so he's in Rat City, and people are eating out of the dumpster. He has Caligistro? I don't remember how he was saying his name. The guy who was also Cagliostro, who we know he was a narrator.
Maybe I shouldn't interrupt you at all and just let you do the review and see how far you can actually do the review.
Thank you.
Until we get to the part where you just are asleep. All right.
What was his name again? Say it again. Cagliostro, who was also the narrator of the movie from the beginning. He is, in my head, I was thinking Fallen Angel, but basically, he was an assassin in like 500 years prior who got recruited by the demon Malbolgia. And he fought his way to get out of under his hold. He made better choices. So he's hoping that he could get to Spawn before he decides to like run this demon army. So he tries to talk to him. Spawn is obviously out of it and is just like, I'm trying to get home to my wife. Fuck you, leave me alone. So he goes to see his wife, and we see a party's going on.
There's a party going on right here. Let's celebrate infidelity. Well, I guess it's not infidelity. Yeah.
She moved on. She was grieving. I feel like this was a trauma bond, to be honest.
It's very This Is Us.
Yes.
It's very much
she marries his best friend and partner, Terry. Terry. I forget the actor's name, but you've seen him in a lot of things. We find that out because she's at this birthday party. It's a child's birthday party. Violator is, for whatever reason, looking like John Wayne Gacy. Is it Gacy?
Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy at the party as a clown, which honestly, these parents are negligent, because there is no way that man would have showed up at my house and I would have said, sure.
I'm not body shaming, but he
did call himself fat. But
he calls himself fat.
He is not. It's not his fat. It's not how big he is.
Fucked up.
It's that he has it teeth.
Yeah, he does have it teeth.
Why are we allowing these people in our homes that look like this? He looks like a scary clown.
Yes.
My child's gonna have nightmares. I would never hire a clown that looks like that. You need to look like Ronald McDonald, or like my uncle Cletus, who just put on some paint and we're just playing around. Like, you need to look like either really funny or really just like makeshift. We just doing this at home because this is all we got money for. But you're not about to look like you're about to rape and kill all of us.
You know, if we finish this podcast in 40 minutes, we could get Five Guys burgers.
Okay. How much minutes?
Actually,
it's 15 minutes, right?
Hold on.
It's 44.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good. Five Guys.
I'm just going off of the time it is right now.
We would have to order it right now.
Yeah, I am.
Pick it up. Okay, wait. Great. So he goes to the party. He sees the people. They're having fun. They're going around. They're doing stuff. And then he sees his beautiful wife, Wanda. Why were all the black ladies named Wanda in the 90s? Bernie Mac's wife was named Wanda too.
I used to have a crush on my grandmother's friend, co-worker Wanda at the preschool.
Did she also have body?
Yeah, she had body. Oh,
all right.
Miss Wanda?
Look at the burgers. Yeah. Okay, so he sees his wife holding this child in a very loving way that seems like it's not an auntie way. It's like a maternal way. And then he sees his bestie, Terry, coming over and talking to her. And then she slaps him on his ass. And they're going on. So, of course, he's grieving at this moment because to see the love of his life with his best friend. And what you gonna do?
6 minutes, actually. Closing in 6 minutes. All right.
They're not gonna deliver.
No, 6 minutes. Don't think.
You talk about what it is, or else you're gonna confuse me.
Anyhow, yeah, that's when he finds out that his wife, Wanda, beautiful, beautiful Wanda is a snack, for the record. I do want to say. He finds out that not only has Wanda remarried, but they have a daughter named Cyan, who is the worst, cutest actor of all time. Like all of her lines throughout the movie are just the flattest lines I could possibly have seen, like, in the world. Like she's like, where is the dog? I wanted to give the man candy. Like, the way that she's reading these line readings are terrible, but she is the most adorable little black girl you could possibly fathom.
And she does give him candy, which I would have not allowed. You're going inside right
Just
now.
like
and then she
Ooh. Oh shoot. Here we go.
All right, so she gives the doll to the clown. He picks up Spawn and like drags him out. They fire the clown. They're like, "Get your shit and go," which he should have said the moment he walked in there. And then that's when he finds out what happens to him because the what is his name? Violator takes him through the timeline of what happened to him, where he went, how he died.
5 years.
It takes him to his grave. There are some fake goths there who are trying to sacrifice things for witchy powers. I'm surprised they didn't die. I thought they were going to. So then, after he takes him through this, he drops him back off in Rat's Alley, or Rat City.
Rat City, bitch. Rat City, Rat City.
And then he, of course, is disgusting and eats a pizza with maggots on it, and they showed it, and it was horrible. And then...
Yeah, I want to say that John Leguizamo does the best method acting he's ever done.
He deserves his flowers.
He needs his flowers, because John Leguizamo played the fuck out of this clown. Like...
And that was peak John Leguizamo. That was when he was
John
doing
Leguizamo's
Tu Wong Fu.
He's not a short man. So this clown... John Leguizamo?
I thought he was like 5'5". Maybe he's like 5'8", 5'9".
The clown was like very short.
Well, yeah, and he was stout and pudgy and like waddling. Like he looked like Penguin from Batman.
Yes, he did look like Danny DeVito size, essentially.
Yes. Danny DeVito.
What?
Danny DeVito wasn't that large.
No, I'm talking about height.
Oh, yes.
I'm going off of height, not pudginess.
But he also had a drink at the party, and I feel like when he was the clown, and I'm like, you're not going to be at my baby's party drinking. The only people drinking at my baby's party is me.
That is true.
You can't be drinking at my baby's party. You need to be alert.
Really? John Luke was almost 5'8".
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I bet he's not short. He's just like an average size.
He is an average size because 5'7" is the average size for an adult.
It is for adult males.
For adult men,
it's 5'5" for adult women.
Yeah, you're not average size.
No, I am fun size.
You're a short. You're a short.
I'm fun size.
Being.
I'm a fun-sized girl. I accept it.
To be a fun-sized girl.
Okay, fine. They also, Terry is working for Martin Sheen and lying for him. They also use the other hard R for mentally disabled people.
Yes, they do. They use that R too.
Several times. Now I have a question about
Sure.
Spawn.
Yeah, sure.
Is his penis gone?
What?
Because
What are you talking about?
his body was burnt. They bring him back, and he's why? First of all, if his body was dead, and he's a skeleton,
Yes.
why did y'all bring him back all scarred up? Why didn't you bring him back regular?
That's a part of the fucking deal. That's a part of the deal.
That to me, I once he went to the cemetery, I was like, what the fuck? But then I'm thinking, okay, if he's burned up, do they burn his penis off too?
Okay.
Because he's in this costume.
Because now we've reached the point where she fell asleep. Now
I have
we
a few more
reached
points.
Oh, cool. Ooh, go off, Queen.
He went to Caligula. How do you pronounce his name? Cagliostro.
These names are
Terrible.
It is a
Cagliostro
terrible fucking name.
asks him to like help. He's like, no. He goes to find Terry, or he finds out who killed him. Obviously, he knows who killed him. He goes to find them, and he wants to kill Terry because he took his wife. And he follows them. He goes to their headquarters, but they were going to a ball.
Yes.
They go to the ball, and then Martin Sheen's character meets with these two African men with the worst African accents.
Well,
The worst African accents.
I don't know about accents. I just the worst attire. I don't think they were both supposed to be African. I think one was supposed to be African, one was supposed to be like Middle Eastern.
Middle East is pretty close to Africa, so either way, they had
So close.
They had
They're right there.
They had terrible accents, and their attire wasn't terrible though. They looked pretty. I mean, like it was not.
Nas, if you're watching this, please let us know if you've seen the movie Spawn.
I think their attire was pretty. I think standard for the time. Like at that, they weren't your
Yeah, they're just like
traditional clothes.
everybody over there wears these garbs.
They were like okay, but their accents were terrible. You could tell. I knew that light skinned one was American for sure. This is an American black man, probably from Brooklyn, with no family connection in like 3 generations to the continent.
Or has secret families. Yes, the old one. Yes, the movie.
Yes.
We're talking about the movie, not the HBO
There was an
animated.
HBO show?
Yes, so there was an animated series, which was Spawn is voiced by Keith David, which I want to watch.
Okay, we should watch that one.
Let's watch that. Yeah, let's watch that after this.
Okay, so Spawn jumps through or falls through in like a very Batman-esque way the ceiling, because all those places always have a glass skylight that someone can fall through, and then he starts like fucking them up.
Yes.
He starts fucking
He
them up.
starts fucking them up. That is your review. Right
He
there.
starts fucking them up.
He starts fucking them up.
Martin
He
Sheen.
shoots them up.
His Martin Sheen and his old partner Terry run out of there, and they're shooting him, but they are shooting recklessly through the room. So I'm like, how many people died because y'all couldn't aim? But it was cool that he regenerated when he was getting shot.
There are a lot of backflips while holding guns in this movie. And the guns are still being shot while the flips are happening. It is so ultraviolet
I like
how
that
this
movie.
is happening. What?
I like that movie.
Ultraviolet?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's a movie.
We're
Yeah.
not watching that one for you to go to sleep
I
to.
won't go to sleep to it.
You'll go to sleep to anything at this point.
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
But okay, now you take it, sir.
No, I'm not. There's not enough time for that.
What else is there to talk about?
The rest of the hour-long rest of the movie is what there is to talk about.
You tell us what you think.
Here's here's a rundown of what else happened. Do you remember when Martin Sheen gets a pacemaker in his heart that goes off if his heart flatlines heat 16, the bomb that goes off around the world goes off? Do you remember that?
I do not remember that. It was creepy.
It was creepy.
Okay,
There's a bomb. Do you remember the fight between Spawn and Violator?
Yes, because Violator's nasty tongue, and he was sexually assaulting Wanda.
Okay, no, I'm talking about the first fight when he first turned into the big creepy monster.
Was that when he was flying away from on the building?
No, that is not when he was flying away on the fucking building.
No, I don't remember.
Do you remember when Wanda was at her job? And no, you don't remember.
A job?
Yeah, Wanda was speaking in front of a room full of people, and this is funny. You know what? Let's just spend the rest of the time talking to Nas.
I want to hear the rest of it. What happened? His frenemy? No,
that's the question that I did want to pose to you. How long after you're dead is it okay for your best friend to marry your spouse or marry whoever you're dating or whatever? How long? 5 years. 5 years is a long time.
Okay, but 5 years is a long time, but that child's 5 years old.
So it happened right after.
So, I mean, this is the thing.
It happened right on the grave.
On one hand, I recognize
funeral night.
That grief.
Hey, you're looking like a snack.
Grief is a very strong thing, and sometimes people can confuse their grief trauma bond with someone with like real love. Mm-hmm. Not to say it doesn't always happen, but sometimes, like that's what I feel like happened with, like in This Is Us. Like it, even though they didn't do it right away, I think that eventually, like I feel like that was still kind of like a thing.
I like how he just like brought it up when they were at a bar. They were just like, we never really talk about how I'm dating Rebecca, my best friend's wife.
Yeah.
Or married.
That's weird. Like, but I will say, I don't think that just because if you have a connection, I don't think that should automatically be off limits. But I do think at bare minimum, I would hope maybe 5 years. But like I say that with like trying to be optimistic for other people, because me personally, like, God forbid anything happened to my sister. I spit on that. Never. I could never imagine, even in the back of my mind, trying to get with my brother-in-law. Because to me,
you're adding a family element to it, but I'm just keeping like friends.
Okay,
you know
so only friends.
Only friends.
My sister's the only person that's married.
Yeah,
well, not only one, but like my other best friend that's married.
Okay, imagine you're married. Mm-hmm. Which one of your friends is the most likely to marry your spouse after you're dead?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like honestly, my friends have very different taste than me. So I would say none of them. But I would say that none of my friends, unless like none of them would think that it was sacrilegious to even think about the idea of partnering with one of their best friends' people. Mm-hmm. The one who plotted my death. That's true. She plotted it, and that's why I'm dead now. But I think that, like, realistically, as being an adult and not trying to put too much on people, I think that if 5 years, giving everyone time to heal, but sometimes.
Yes! Ha ha! 2 scissors in a row!
Sometimes I think that we shouldn't hate on people that do this. I think we should allow
No, I
people
think it's a thing that happens.
to feel their feelings. Love is love, and sometimes you
People
can't help
trauma
it.
bond all the time.
And trauma bonds happen. Like, you may not realize it or want to call it that, but like, if you have someone very special between you and another person, and something happens to that person, sometimes having someone else to remember and who loved that person as much as you love them, that can create a bond that is not, it's not like being weird or gross. It creates a bond that grows. So I feel like if that were to happen, I would not
and y'all can share
begrudge.
stories and everything like that. Like,
I would not begrudge any
Yeah.
of my friends
Okay.
if that were to happen.
So, what would you rate this movie? This movie that you saw
I watched it.
40 minutes of.
45.
Out of the 130
I saw the
minutes.
beginning of it. I missed a little bit of the middle. I
You
saw
missed
the
a
first
lot of the
act.
middle.
I missed a little bit of the second act, and I saw the third act.
You saw the third act?
I did.
When they were in hell fighting?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Okay. Sure.
No, I did see that when they were in hell.
All right.
Because that's when they were really looking like, when the devil was really looking like a dog. He was really looking like a dog, and it was terrible.
Okay, cool. How would you rate this movie?
Okay, so I'm not rating this on any sort of, I'm not going to be biased and rate
1 out of
CGI or anything like that. But the story and the plot and the action, I will give it a 7.
Okay, I was actually going to give it a 7 as well.
6.5, 7.
I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 7. Like, it was a product of its time.
Yes.
It clearly is just what it is.
It is what it is.
For what its time is. And, yeah, even Nas gives it a 7.
It's a 7. It's a solid, like, I would watch this again. Would it be my first option? No.
Yes. Odie would fall asleep to it again. It's a good nap movie, apparently, to Odie. I would watch it again. It's entertaining, if nothing else.
I think it's it's very campy.
And it's a good black action,
That's-
black superhero
yes.
movie. Yes, he's burned. And yes, he has to go to
I
hell.
wrote something about racism in here. What was it?
Oh, yeah. the
when he
scene
was
where
like, look who was left in the oven too long. I was like, that's racist.
Oh, I thought you meant that, like, no matter what, the cops, when he was leaving trying to kill Wynn, and he killed the white woman, that all the cops in the city showed up.
Of course.
And they had no problem with shooting the fuck out of him.
And that's
like,
why I was
shooting
happy he
a property.
regenerated.
Yeah, I'm so happy he regenerated.
I'm like, but
right.
honestly, I remember when Luke Cage? Who is he? The one that got shot with when he
he's
had
invulnerable.
when he had the hoodie and everybody was like, oh, it's so symbolism because Black Lives Matter, and I'm like, but somebody did it first.
Yeah.
We gotta give honor to
Well, it
those
wasn't-
who paved the way. It wasn't him who did it
Not
first.
in the comics,
Not
at least.
in the comics. He wasn't invulnerable.
No, in the comics he was invulnerable. In the comics he didn't wear a hoodie. In the comics he just wears a t-shirt.
Oh, but I mean like invulnerable as in like, his shooting.
I wonder if that picked up. Anyway,
Not
it
his
probably
burn. No, I didn't personally. I feel like they could have done without the burn skin. But I
Okay.
know that it was a portion.
That's a part of
I
the
know
whole
that that's a
thing.
part of the book,
He
and the
gets
comic
set
book.
on
So,
fire and he goes to hell and he doesn't look like himself.
well, the thing about it is, because initially I thought that I didn't think they had his body. I thought that like when he first burns, in my head I thought that like they had taken him from that space, but they buried him. So I'm like, if you're gonna bring me back whole. Why am I gonna be all burnt up and wrinkly, looking like a worm?
No, you think heaven will probably bring you back a whole, but it's hell. It's hell.
That's true.
It's hell.
That's
you make
true.
a deal with a demon from hell. This is what you
Never
get.
make deals.
Never make deals with demons from hell.
Or fairies, because fairies are very tricky, and you will not...
They'll make you lose your phone.
Yeah, they will. Don't make deals with them, because they are always going to be
Where's
tricky,
your phone?
and...
Yeah, and you looked around. I watched you look around for your phone. It's right there.
Don't trick me. You know I'm triggered. You know I'm triggered.
Anyhow, so that has been the podcast.
Yes. Okay.
Thank y'all for checking us out. Thank y'all for sticking with us. We appreciate it. And we'll be back this weekend for the podcast proper.
Sturdy podcast.
And then we'll be back with something next Wednesday.
I'm voting for Strange Days.
I'm like, so we're just not gonna watch Beef or Swarm.
But remember, we had talked about watching. Okay, we wanted to watch Beef. However, due to the recent situations,
fuckery, we can call it
the fuckery, the shenanigans, the chicanery, I felt conflicted.
Yeah, we're not watching Beef.
I want to watch it, but I don't know if I want to review it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's too late for us to watch Swarm.
No, I don't think it's too late. I think Swarm we can watch at any point.
I don't know about that.
It doesn't have to be breaking news.
But either way. So we'll catch y'all next time, and take it easy.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorice is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's That's OD, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.